live Monday through Friday, noon to 1. We launch today's edition with Colonel Martha McSally, one of 5 Republican candidates running in that special April 17th primary in Congressional District 8. 20 minutes past the hour, Mitch Tobin, he is our Buckmaster Show contributor on the environment, joins us to break down a new poll on how voters in Arizona view environmental politics. 30 minutes past the hour, Allison Cooper will be with me in studio talking about prime time for Tucson tourism. Then we'll close out the show with our monthly edition of Blogger Beat. And once a month, we talk with a different Arizona-based blogger. Today it is Ted Przelski, author of Rum, Romanism, and Rebellion, known as R3. We encourage you to be part of the conversation. Call us on the Buckmaster Show live line 790-2040. You can also email questions at our website or use our Facebook page. Well, there are 5 Republicans lined up in the special primary on April 17th in Congressional District 8. We are meeting all of the candidates here on the Buckmaster Show. Today we introduce you to Colonel Martha McSally, the first woman to fly fighter jets in combat in the U.S. Air Force and the first woman to command a fighter squadron in combat in U.S. history. She's the former commander of the Davis Mountain Air Force Base's 354th Fighter Squadron. She sued the Pentagon over requiring that she not have to wear traditional black Muslim cloaks off the base, and won. Now retired from the military, Colonel McSally was most recently a professor of national security studies at the George C. Marshall Center in Germany. Our pleasure now to welcome Colonel McSally. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me, Bill.
Tell me about, well, I mean, we could talk about your fantastic resume, and you've got a lot of firsts to your credit. You retired from the military as a full colonel at age
44.
Yeah, I mean, so we could talk about the resume. It's a great resume, but why are you running for Congress?
Well, Bill, I'm running for Congress because I believe our nation is at a very critical time. We have serious issues. There's dysfunction going on in Washington, D.C., and we need leadership, and we need moral courage, and we need someone with the right experience of doing the right thing. And an experience in making things happen, and I felt very convicted and called to come home and be that person for this district and this nation.
When did this calling? When was this decision, or when did it start to percolate?
I've had many people encourage me that when I finished wearing the uniform that I should run for office and continue to serve the public in that way. So this seed was planted many years ago. I worked for Senator John Kyle from Arizona for a year as a legislative fellow, so I got to see firsthand, how to serve on Capitol Hill and get things done. After I sued the Department of Defense on the Abaya issue, I then actually personally shepherded legislation through Congress and got it passed unanimously in order to overturn that policy once and for all. So this fabric and this thread of potential public service has been in my life for many years, and in the last year it has percolated again. But I was serving overseas, and I was really struggling with, do I continue to make a difference there or back here? And so,
I mean, you could have stayed on there, certainly.
Yes,
in Germany. You
yeah.
were happy with what you were doing.
I was very happy, yeah.
But Tucson feels like home to
Absolutely.
you? Yeah.
Tucson is my home. I came here first in 1994, bought my house in Rita Ranch. I've been a part of this community for almost a decade on 4 separate military assignments here. I own 18 acres of land in Elgin, although I haven't paid it off yet, so I guess I don't really own it.
Well, you're very close.
Yeah, and my church is here. I stay connected with them even by live web stream due to great technology. And so very much this is my community. I've been very active in the community, even when on active duty.
We're talking with Colonel Martha McSally, one of the 5 Republicans running in that special CD8 election, which is coming up very quickly. I mean, it's a compressed time, not a lot of campaigning. Name recognition is important. People are going to look, I think, Colonel, for kind of bottom line issues, aren't they, in this thing? They're going to say, what is it that separates you from the pack?
Well, and I hope it's not just bottom line issues, but bottom line character about who the person is that they're voting for, whether they can trust them, whether they're the kind of person they think can be in Washington, D.C. doing the right thing, because the level of frustration is very high in the nation and in the community. So I hope they're looking for, I know they're looking for, someone that they can believe in, someone that shows they can get things done, someone who shows they've got the moral character to do the right thing at a critical time in our nation. And so those are the things that I know are going to separate.
I'm going to throw a few issues out at you. You can give me a couple of sentences on each so we can cover a lot of ground. The jobs issue, everybody seems to put that at the top of the agenda. We must create jobs in this country.
Absolutely. We need to unshackle the private sector and the free market economy in order to flourish and create those jobs for the American people.
How about the border?
The border is a serious national security issue that is disproportionately affecting this community. The federal government has failed to secure the border, and it's a very high priority that we get to Washington, D.C., and we address these critical issues that are affecting our nation and this community.
How about debt for this country?
Debt is my number one concern. We cannot continue to spend more than we bring in. It's a national security issue. It's a national prestige issue. It is our future depends upon reeling in this debt, and so we have got to ensure that we stop spending more than we bring in, and we have got to not hand the next generations the incredible debt that we're seeing going on in Europe right now. We have to rein this in.
Social Security.
It is so important that we are, looking at the commitments that we have made to our seniors, and that we keep those promises and we do that right thing. And as we're addressing some serious issues for the future of our nation, we've got to be agile, we've got to be creative, and we've got to make some hard decisions for the future generations as we're looking at reining our debt in.
You lived in Germany. Foreign affairs have got to be a very important part of your campaign, and I know that many of us are concerned about what's going on in the Middle East. Perhaps war clouds, some believe war clouds really are thickening between an eventual, some kind of military action between Israel and Iran.
Absolutely. We have got to, again, at a time that is critical for us, where we are trying to be good stewards of the resources that we have to look at where our national interests and our national values are and make those tough decisions to engage at the right level with the right tools to do that right thing, to defend our national interests. And I have shown that I've got experience in doing that. I understand the international environment, but I'm also not afraid to do the right thing and making those difficult choices we have to as to where our resources are going to go.
If you were to be elected to Congress and there was military action taken by the Israelis to knock out some of the nuclear weapons capability in Iran, what would you advocate for the United States position to be in that case?
Well, again, the important thing is that we're engaged in identifying where our national interests are, that we've got leaders in Washington that have the moral courage to be looking at this seriously and engaging and making the right decisions in order to ensure the safety and security of American people. So those are the types of dynamics we'll have to deal with, and I've shown I have that experience and that leadership in order to address those types of threats we're dealing with.
You are the only woman in the field of 5 candidates,
No,
so that certainly separates you right there. But what will be kind of the defining issue when you sit down with the other candidates?
Well, I'm used to being the only woman, with the 3 older brothers, and certainly as a transition into being a fighter pilot. Again, I believe the issue is that we have got to reconnect with this community, and we've got to heal some rifts that we've had even within the community. We've got to address the serious situation that our nation is in, and the people are looking for someone they can trust. The people are looking for someone who's going to show leadership to do the right thing in Washington to represent them and not represent Washington to them. And I've shown that that's a fabric of who I am, that I'm not afraid to stand up for what's right. I'm not afraid to put my career on the line. And that is what I think individuals in this community and in this nation are looking for right now as they're frustrated with Washington, D.C.
Let's talk a little bit about your background. Where are you from, and why did you decide to go into the military?
I grew up in Warwick, Rhode Island. I'm the youngest of 5 children, and my father died suddenly when I was 12 years old. So it was this largest defining event of my life. My world was turned upside down as a young girl, and it very deeply defined who I am. I had a chance to talk to him in between heart attacks, and he told me to make him proud. which I've been driven to do since that day. And also, it just was placed on my heart at a young age that every day is a precious gift, and we have to make it matter, and we have to do things that matter. And so that has been just foundational for me, that experience I had growing up.
You've had to overcome a lot of prejudice, I would imagine.
I have at different stages.
Breaking through kind of a glass ceiling, as it's often referred to.
Yeah, the opportunities that I've had have certainly been challenging, but I've been well prepared for them through my life events, through the characters, through my faith, which is very foundational to me, in order to just focus on the mission, do the right thing, and not worry about those obstacles. God made me an endurance athlete for a reason, so I can endure through those obstacles and press forward and focus on the mission.
Did you always consider yourself a spiritual person, even as a little girl?
I grew up in the church, but it really, for me, became a personal decision when I was at the Air Force Academy. I personally entered into a relationship with Christ and personally became very foundational to who I am, as a sophomore at the Air Force Academy, and that has been absolutely critical, defining who I am, the decisions that I make, and the course I take is definitely foundational, my faith in Christ.
This is your first political campaign?
It is. Tell
me about the experience so far.
Well, it's been incredible in many ways. I arrived here and I had to do many things at once. We have to organize, we have to fundraise, we have to get out there, we have to talk to the media, as I'm doing right now, and so we're to use a flying analogy, we're building the airplane as we're flying it. But I'm well trained in those areas, and I've got that stamina to be able to do all those things. And so it's been an incredible couple of weeks since I really felt convicted and called to step out for this purpose.
Do you consider yourself a people person? Do you like meeting people?
I love meeting people. I really do. I mean, all those who know me in the community will know that I love leading people, I love meeting people, and I love listening to people, and so I'm really enjoying that part of it. I'm an extrovert, personality-wise, and so this is...
I think I can tell that after talking with you for a few minutes. And you like animals as well.
I love animals. I really do. I've finally reunited with my golden retriever, who I left behind when I first... stepped out in faith to come here and investigate whether this was the time and I was the person in this place to serve like this. So she's here with me now.
She was flown over here?
She was flown over from Munich to L.A., and then my next-door neighbors, who are just wonderful people in Rita Ranch, they drove to L.A. and got her for me a couple of days ago. So
we love our companion animals.
Yes, I do. I love all animals. I am an animal person.
Me too. Colonel McSally, good luck. Thank you very much for being with us. Where can folks get more information about you?
That's great. Thanks for asking. My website is McSallyForCongress.com, and that's for spelled out F-O-R. And I'm also up on Facebook, and so I'd love to hear from you. Today we have a grand opening of our office at 5:30 p.m. on 8060 East 22nd. So I look forward to engaging and talking with all of you.
All right. Thanks a lot. Colonel McSally running for Congress as a Republican in the special April 17th primary. Good luck. Thanks.
Thanks, Bill.
All right.